What's good? It's your boy, Mixtape Moth, and today I'm going to hit y'all with a review of the new Mooch album entitled The Fifth Power. Let's get to it. Mooch is a rapper coming out of Rochester, New York. He is a member of the Rochester collective known as Da Cloth. Now, Da Cloth is an underrated crew that recently released the Fixtape. I have a review up for that on his channel, so if you haven't watched it, please check that out. But to me, Da Cloth represent the essence of grimy New York rap. Each member has their own unique voice and sound. I just feel there is something very mysterious about the crew altogether. Unfortunately, they don't have the spotlight on them as much as fans would like, but Da Cloth has been putting out consistent dope music for a while now. Let's talk about Mooch as a rapper. He's a gritty MC with a great flow. He has a lot of drug talk in his raps. His rhymes feel very true to life, like he's actually lived what he's rapping about. The other thing that stands out to me about Mooch is his wordplay. The man is hitting us with clever and witty wordplay all throughout his projects. Now here's something that I have to bring up. People frequently say that his voice bears a strong resemblance to Westside Gunn. And to be completely honest, I do understand those comparisons somewhat. However, when you compare each of the two's lyrical ability, Mooch is more technically proficient than Westside Gunn by far. And this is no disrespect to Westside Gunn, but I feel Mooch has a sharper flow and is just a better rapper in general. But I do get that their vocal inflections are similar. But let me jump right into this project entitled The Fifth Power. This is Mooch's fourth solo album, I believe. It was produced entirely by a producer named Thank Fifth. I'm not familiar with his work, but I feel he laced Mooch with a batch of fire instrumentals. This project contains 11 tracks and just lasts under the 30-minute mark, so it's a real quick listen. There's nothing long-winded or monotonous to this tape. Mooch is just in and out like a bank robber. It's very straightforward, hardcore hip-hop. But with that being said, let me hit y'all with this track-by-track breakdown. Track 1, entitled Puro, has Mooch comparing the potency of his rhymes to that of the finest white product that's out on the streets. That's why he labels his raps Puro. So he's basically flexing his skills and dumbing out over this thumping piano loop. It's a raw and knocking instrumental. He states, "You couldn't master the master. I make a masterpiece, hit you in the head real mystical," or the Master P. "I'm double lapping rappers and I'm never lacking in calories." I think he was spazzing on this opening song. It's a strong way to set this tape off. He's just demonstrating why he's one of the nicest and hungriest young dudes in the game. Track 2, Slap, is equally as hard in terms of the energy of the beat and Mooch's flow. He talks about people that need a slap in the face. I just envision Mooch slapping Donald Trump Jr. because he is someone that I feel has one of the most slappable faces. There's somewhat of a comical element to this one as Mooch fantasizes about slapping cashiers with bad breath, dentists, judges, and even younger kids who want that smoke. I think this record is relatable because there are some days when you may feel like slapping people's faces for living. Now, I'm not saying that I have these feelings often, but if I did, I guess I would have to take deep breaths and walk away, so I don't catch a case. But I like the fun, upbeat and gutter feel to this beat. The production definitely slaps. The third song, Hard Knock Life, features Da Cloth member Riggs. Both Riggs and Mooch are easily two of the most standout members of Da Cloth. In my opinion, they just have great synergy on tracks. This contains a sped up soul beat, or I guess you could say a chipmunk sample. On here, they are talking about coming up in the trenches. It's been a hard knock life, but they are on the quest for more riches. Up next is Grab the Work, which is a straight up hustling record. Mooch talks about bagging up that work and living that dope boy lifestyle over a grimy piano sample. The production was minimal, but effective. Mooch comes through with that football reference. I grab your pack like Bettis and bust it down. I'm a stealer. I run through brothers like big wheelers. Potato on the hammer. My dudes is real peelers. This track wasn't mind-blowing, but it was solid. There was one verse and a hook, but the hook was catchy enough. Then we have the skit Pandemic Coke. Now, you know every good Coke rap album or mafioso rap album has to have a solid skit, right? Well, on here, Mooch is frustrated that the product isn't locking like it should, so Riggs suggested he put it in the microwave for 120 seconds, and that's when the magic begins. This, of course, segues perfectly into Microwave, featuring Riggs again on the hook, who states, "Fuck the stove, I cook my crack in the microwave." It's a memorable refrain that might give people a few ideas for better or worse, I suppose. But the duo are clearly in favor of using the microwave when cooking up. What I liked about this record is that Mooch is giving listeners drug rap that's a little more specific than your average Coke talk. It just feels very convincing, unlike some rappers who just dream this stuff up. Mooch states, "My crack rock halal, when they hit it, they want a sound piece, that flavor in your air, bad boy would have been proud be. These Puff Daddy bags, they be dancing after the clouds meet." This is one of like 3 Bad Boy references on the album, I noticed. Speaking of Bad Boy, Mooch gives his own rendition of Biggie's Going Back to Cali over a string sample. Mooch talks about going back to Cali to find a new weed plug. He's getting tired of serving crack fiends in the freezing cold and would prefer making his money in the warm Cali breeze. He throws out another Bad Boy line, "I'm feeling like a bad boy playing Pac in the Lexus." I haven't heard many remakes to this big version, but I thought this one was dope. I really dug that amped up energy that he brought forth. On Careless, Mooch talks about being on his purpose. He's so laser beam focused on his goals that he could care less about what the next man is doing, and I think that's an attitude that a man should take, especially if he's out here on his purpose, making moves. This has a jazzy beat that's a little melancholy. He states, "I'm looking myself in the mirror like I'm a grade 2. They calling me the Candyman, think it's sweet till I break through." I like the Candyman reference, and I thought this line was clever. Right after we have I Need You, he's rapping about the people who are no longer here in the physical over this heartfelt soul sample. This beat is reminding me of something the Locks, Ali Vegas, or let's say Graph would have rapped over in the late 2000s. It was giving me those New York era mixtape vibes. Now this track was solid, but at only 1 minute and 37 seconds, I felt like he could have fleshed it out some more. Then we had Tuesday, which features Rome Streets and fellow Da Cloth member Rob Gates. This is one of my favorite records on the tape. They are rapping heavy street shit over a pretty ethereal instrumental. A portion of the hook goes, "We shot the dude on a Tuesday, we send him up on a Tuesday." It's eerie gangster music. While Rob Gates always brings forth that hard body energy, and I thought that Mooch had a dope verse, it was Rome Streets who stole the show for me. "Brothers don't want no parts of me, spitting God degree, hot like a barefaced bank robbery, shank your artery, young and dapper, smoking weed with purple hairs like a mumble rapper, I call my dunny to come and clap you." I just like how Rome Streets strings together his bars, and also the smoking weed with purple hairs like a mumble rapper was pretty hard. The closing record is The Cure. On here, Mooch is describing how he's the antidote for whack rap. For the people who are sick and lost, his music is their cure. He's rapping over a luxurious but lo-fi sample. It's something that I could picture Rock Marciano using for some reason. I thought he was giving us some insight on the second verse. "I'm passing people L's, but they probably never learn it. A loss is just a lesson. They take the L's and they burn it." Overall, I give this project a strong 3.5 mic rating, close to a 4. As good as this album was, it felt a little short to me, and a couple of the songs seemed a little underdeveloped, kind of like he could have added a little more to them. But in general, this was a very solid release. Now, I haven't heard all of Mooch's albums, but he is currently my favorite member of Da Cloth. I liked how the production was raw and hard hitting. It was simple yet effective. Some of these soul samples definitely took me back to the mixtape era in the late 2000s. There were no drumless loops with faint percussion, thankfully, and even on some of the more low-key beats, Mooch's energetic flow brought so much life to the track. I think he's one of the nicest underground street rappers at the moment, and I'm looking forward to more solo material as well as more music from Da Cloth. My favorite tracks include Puro, Slap, Hard Knock Life, Microwave, Going Back to Cali, and Tuesday. Let me know what you thought about this project in the comment section below. What should I check out next? It's your boy, Mixtape Moth. I'm signing out, but be sure to hit that like button and please subscribe. As always, it's peace and blessings. Mooch, the fifth power, one.